Before we better figure out how to eat the rich, I want to show you my Odyssey channel again. I now have 2 followers, but it would be cool to back myself up there with my other followers. It would be very appreciated if all of the followers of this YouTube channel could go to the Odyssey channel and follow it as well. I've told you already that they don't seem willing to monetize my channel, but if they deplatform me altogether, it would be good if you knew where else to turn. As I did in the last show, I'll link to the Odyssey channel in the show notes underneath this video. If you're listening on podcast, you also can look in the show notes under the podcasts. Speaking of censorship, Michael Lindell has been deplatformed for sharing the idea that there may have been election fraud in the 2020 general election. Rather than offering counter evidence to his claims, the big media platforms are simply saying it's fake news. Here are a few examples of the claims he's making, and as far as I can tell, there are no counterclaims. In the state of Pennsylvania, the category of possible error in the voting: mail-in votes counted without a Republican observer, 682,777 votes. Mail-in ballots, 68,927 votes. Fake ballots driven from New York to Pennsylvania, 100,000 votes. And I've seen the evidence of that in other videos. I'd like to know if that's true or not, if somebody could just come right out and say, no, that's a lie, that's not true, and then back it up with proof. Between 80 to 100 self-proclaimed Black Lives Matter affiliated members from other states have admitted to voting in Pennsylvania. Whether or not those Black Lives Matter voters should have voted for Joe Biden, which I think they shouldn't, I'd still be interested to know if this is fraudulent and if it's actually happening. Ballots accepted up to 3 days after Election Day, 10,000 votes, I don't think anyone's disputing that. Poll workers sorted ballots with various errors into bins. Poll workers then refilled out these ballots so that they could be read by tabulation machines, an action contrary to state law. 4,500 votes. I don't think anyone's claiming that that didn't happen either. And a lot of these anomalies that nobody's saying didn't happen, happened in swing states. And I would like to see more pressure put on people to show that we didn't have a fraudulent election. I know the last 2 Democratic primary elections were fraudulent and that Bernie Sanders was cheated, so I would like to know if this kind of cheating is also happening in general elections. I know that the Dominion voting machines were used in both cases, and I would like to see some proof that they were not being used fraudulently in the general election. And if you don't believe that Bernie was cheated in the primary elections, then I have nothing else to say to you. As always, I'll link to this video in the show notes. And now from MSN Newsweek, a new Eat the Rich plan asks you to unfollow your favorite celebrities and corporations. Some Americans want to eat the rich, and now there's a new way to do it. A TikTok trend aims to take a hit at celebrity profits by lowering their follower counts on social media. The caption under this photo reads, Kylie Jenner and Kendall Jenner attend the 2019 Met Gala celebrating camp. Notes on fashion at Metropolitan Museum of Art on May 6, 2019 in New York City. The younger Jenner, Kylie, has over 213 million followers on Instagram. TikTok user Gina Bologna asked her followers to unfollow even some Hollywood and corporate names to lessen the elite's giant incomes. Her video was posted Saturday and it's starting to pick up steam. At the time of publishing, over 54,000 people liked the video and nearly 1,000 users made their own videos that showed them unfollowing celebrities such as billionaire Kylie Jenner on social media. Eat the rich isn't a new concept or phrase. In modern times, it questions why celebrities, influencers, and huge corporation CEOs hold so much of America's wealth. The phrase is actually from the 18th century, usually attributed to Jean-Jacques Rousseau. It's been used in several song titles and a few book titles, but it picked up steam again in 2020 as the COVID pandemic saw net worths of America's elite grow during global turmoil. Bologna outlined a new plan to reduce the 1%'s funding. I know about the stocks, and I know that the rich are freaking out, her video began. I know that us poor people are like, this is kind of cool. You want to freak them out a little more? I used to work in marketing, and I know how much people like Kylie Jenner get paid for having the social media account followings that they have. Unfollow them. Unfollow them all. It may seem like a big ask, especially using Jenner as an example. The youngest Kardashian has a whopping 213 million followers and was reportedly earning $1.2 million per sponsored Instagram post in 2019, around the time she was officially declared the world's youngest billionaire. How much of an impact can a handful of internet users make by unfollowing her on their social media accounts? The answer could be none at all if the message doesn't travel far. Jay Baer, author and founder of Convince and Convert, a digital marketing consultancy, explained to Newsweek, "At the very high end of the influencer marketing pyramid, the audience is large enough that only a sizable drop in overall followers would have an effect on what the influencer can change for sponsored content," he said, referring to someone like Jenner actually losing income based on lost followers. Baer suggested it would take Jenner losing about 20% of her followers for her or her marketing team to actually become concerned about a financial shift. That means over 40 million people would have to unfollow the makeup mogul for the point to really land. That doesn't necessarily mean Bologna's efforts are in vain. Last week, the US stock market saw the power of organized rebellion. Reddit users bought shares of the dying publicly traded company GameStop after they noticed hedge funds betting the shares would stay low priced. Through the Reddit purchases, GameStop shares soared and caused hedge funds to buy back their stocks in the company at insanely high prices. The organized attack on hedge funds led Bologna to dream up a new Eat the Rich plan. The reason? She, like millions of others online, sees a huge disconnect between where consumer and governmental money is going and who really needs it. This world is lacking balance and harmony. The inequality in this country is greater than it ever has been, Bologna told Newsweek via email. The media structure has been corporatized and has not been speaking for the people for quite some time. We deserve to be free people. We do not deserve to be working below living wage jobs to survive. Ding, ding, ding! She expanded on the point of congressional rulings that favor the elite over everyday citizens. They have undermined us. They have been bought and sold by corporations. It is no longer the people's interests in mind, it is corporations' interests. So to put more power in the hands of the people, Bologna came up with the idea of unfollowing celebrities. Many influencers become influencers because they are already living lavish lives that they see worth envying. Meanwhile, there are people without their basic needs being met, she wrote. How can we rationalize giving celebrities $30,000 to post a picture of themselves with a product when we can't even feed and house all of our people? Bologna's message isn't to unfollow every celebrity you love, though. Why not? She explained it's okay to continue following the accounts that bring you joy, but explicitly called out Amazon as an example of companies and founders to forego. Well, I don't know about you, dear viewers and listeners, but I'm past all that. I can't think of any celebrities that bring me joy because almost all of them voted for Hillary and then Joe Biden in the general election. So, fuck 'em! Back to the story. Amazon's founder, Jeff Bezos, is considered the world's richest human being with a net worth of $182 billion in December, according to NPR. Anyone with exhausting amounts of wealth and any corporations, I believe you should keep at a greater distance, Bologna said of who to unfollow. For example, we've completely stopped supporting small business and lazily given all of our business to Jeff Bezos. He does not need any more of our time or attention, yet he has a cool 2.7 million followers on Instagram. And here I'll break in and agree with her that our need for convenience sometimes overwhelms our need to have justice in the economic realm. For mom and pop ever to come back again, some of us might need to go out of our way a little bit and stop relying so much on convenience. One thing's for sure, Jeff Bezos doesn't need 2.7 million followers on Instagram. Bologna's message has been taken in stride by some on TikTok. Videos showing social media users working through their following list to eliminate some big names, Jenner included, are easy to find. Others joked of the concept and questioned if they had to give up celebrities they love. One in particular named Seth Rogen as a rich but good person and raked in over 40,000 likes in less than 24 hours. It seems to prove Bologna's point is being talked about in the TikTok community, whether or not her viewpoints have made their way to every For You page. Whether or not Bologna's idea takes off as an organized act, it seems likely the idea to unfollow rich influencers may just become a trend as the eat the rich mentality gains even more attention. Social media users were quick to subscribe to cancel culture, an even lesser organized digital attack on celebrities embroiled in controversy. It happened to TikTok sweetheart Charli D'Amelio in November. The general public took offense to a comment by D'Amelio about her follower count, and millions of unfollows resulted in just hours. It all stands to prove that mass unfollowings are possible with the right momentum. As internet culture continues to evolve, the fate of giant influencers like Jenner may lay solely in the hands of followers, humans who are allowed to see their interests and passions shift. No star shines forever, and the downfall of influencer culture could be on the horizon, be it eat the rich motives or simple boredom with intangible online obsessions. At the end of the article is a Microsoft News poll. How likely are you to unfollow your favorite celebrities on their social media platforms? Very likely. We use cookies to track your survey answers. That's another story. Very likely. Now they make me agree to allow cookies. What is your race? Select all that apply. I'll select white. We would like to ask you questions about how your personal family medical experience with COVID-19 coronavirus is impacting you. These questions will be labeled as University COVID-19 Study. So what the fuck does that have to do with my favorite celebrities? You may also encounter other COVID-19 questions that are not related to this study. I'm guessing in advance that they're rabidly curious to know if we're all willing to take the vaccine or not. Whether or not it's a good idea to take this vaccine, we know that some big companies will stand to benefit as much as Jeff Bezos has benefited from this disaster. Your answers may be linked to your other poll responses, such as age, gender, etc., but would not be linked to any personally identifiable information. May we ask you these University COVID-19 study questions in subsequent polls? You can either answer no or fuck no. To what broad age group do you belong? 55 to 64. Please indicate your gender. Oops, I said female. Can't go back. My finger twitched. How likely are you to unfollow your favorite celebrities? 65% say very likely. It's not 100%, folks. 73% of the poll respondents are white. That's interesting. A huge majority of the people are over 55 who took this poll. That's interesting. And that's it for the Newsweek poll. I don't know, I feel a little bit dirty for having taken it. So not only will we have to stop following corporate celebrities, we probably should stop reading corporate news like Newsweek. So I'll have done the dirty work for you. You won't have to say that you actually read it. Unless it brings you joy, of course. Then be sure to take the poll at the end. Hope to chat with you again tomorrow.